Okay, this is a good time to get in. This is a perfect time to get into this.
The rocket exploding?
Mm-mm.
No.
Because, what's his name? Russell Brand. I've just been made aware that he does this.
The guy who owns Virgin Airlines?
He does Trews.
Yeah.
No, this is Katy Perry's ex-wife.
Okay.
With the long hair.
Yeah.
And the beard. Isn't she the one that won
Is he a terrorist?
Isn't she the one that won the Eurovision singing contest?
the bearded woman?
Yeah. So that's Russell Brand. And now she's saying she does the Trews. No, he does Trews where he basically does this show. Like, he talks about a subject and then he posts it online.
With an English accent?
He does the show like this, really, really making a point all the time, and then upload it to YouTube. Nice and easy, right?
Yep.
British accent does it all. So I discovered this today. I guess he's probably been doing it for years. He's got millions of views, I'm sure. He's very successful. I'm sorry I didn't see this until today. But Russell Brand does the Trews. He covers things and whatnot. Anyway, he also put out a book, his Manifesto.
Get him to the Greek?
Yeah, with Puff Daddy in it, writing the forward.
Yeah.
And Jonah Hill starring in the index.
Uh-huh.
No, so Russell Brand puts out this book, Manifesto, right? And he's giving his thoughts on all the subjects in the world, right? So I think it was like, lame Buzzfeed. This is why Buzzfeed's in my head today. I think I've mentioned them a couple times on and off the air. But BuzzFeed, they hand this over to a doctor, I guess, a political scientist.
The Manifesto?
Like some professor of whatever, yeah, and they get his opinion on a bunch of things that he said. And, basically the guy shits all over everything Russell Brand says.
I'm sure Russell Brand speaks in broad terms, right?
Very broad, but that's the idea.
Kind of hyperbolic also,
exactly,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And, he makes, broad sweeping statements and he says the economy is, it's not real, it's it's an illusion, and that's why the word con is in it. And
hey, that's a good point there, huh?
And then, the political scientist is like, yes, but, then he shouldn't have, he goes, yeah, maybe he has a point, then maybe he shouldn't have tried to, come up with, whatever, the guy was just trying to defeat him at every turn.
Sure. A lot of these educated folks like to think they're smarter than everybody else.
Everything said, okay, maybe Russell Brand doesn't have all the answers, but I like what he's doing, I like what he's going for. I've always had that same idea type in mind. I'd like to publish one day or get out there the answer to everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like to do is put out how to feel about everything. Like, I'll tell you how you should feel about every single JFK assassination, yogurt, breakfast for dinner,
Kim Kardashian,
what hotel to stay at, Kim Kardashian,
the best liquor to drink,
absolutely. Oh, let's get back to that. You hear about Fireball?
No.
Let's get back to that in a minute. But anyway, so I like what Russell Brand is doing. I think it's actually pretty good, but the guy shit on him at all points. So I just have one point that I don't believe anybody could shit on, and I challenge anybody to shit on this concept that there's nothing that, if you want to argue anything, you can't argue the fact that the money is funneling to the top at a rate higher than ever before. Maybe back in the Egyptian days when everybody was poor except the people on the
pharaohs,
top. Yeah, okay, maybe we do have a little bit more of a middle class these days. But for our recorded times, you'll always hear that the money exchange, from the wealthiest to the poorest, it's funneling upwards.
Right.
There's no trickling down because they're not spending, they're keeping everything, and you can see the proof is in the pudding, Bill Cosby, when the fact is you've got 99% of the population fighting over 1% of the world's wealth. And that's the world's wealth that they will account for. That doesn't account for what the Pope is sitting on in the Vatican. Yeah. It doesn't account for, what Saudi kings and whatever. And there's a lot of hidden money out there that we don't. The Queen, you know what I'm saying? She's not. You can't account for that. It's above money. Yeah. So of the money that is out there for all of us to be had, we're fighting over 1% of that. That's not an accident. So that's my point. You can't shit on that point. Tell me how that's an accident. Tell me how that's an accident.
I can't, but people will argue that
is on purpose to keep us down.
people argue that the makers are the ones that have that money, and they deserve to have the money so they can make more stuff, And us takers, we don't deserve the money because
But we have to start
takers.
looking at the rate. We just have to come up with a nice rate and agree on it. Because look, imagine if they just get, like I think I've said it on the show before. We're fighting over 1% of the money that's out there. What if we're fighting over 2% or 3%? What if you were 3 times richer than you are today? That would help.
That sounds like a taker belief over there.
But then it would only be 3% of the money that's out there. Again, the money that they will account for doesn't even count the money that they really have that's above anything. Now I'm saying we could go all the way down to 80%. We could they could give us a lot. Why not 50%? The richest people in the world own 50%, and all 7 billion and the rest of us own 50% of the money out there. Then nobody would really be poor. And I'm just saying that's the idea. We could all not be poor, and we are all poor on purpose.
Yep.
There's more than enough money out there for all of us. And I'm going to tweet this out. I'm going to force Russell Brand to co-sign this on Twitter this week. I dare anyone to shit on that point. Okay, his manifesto, maybe you can poke holes in it. This one, how is that an accident?
Yeah.
Thank you. Show over? It's not?
It can be.
The show's not over. Okay. I'm sorry. Do you have an applause over there, Kat? Anything? I'll wait. Because that was my manifesto.
That was your what?
And that is my manifesto. Thank you. Thank you.